What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. Now, you guys are probably wondering you guys probably just noticed the lighting and everything else. You guys are wondering what's going on. Why is it dark? That's because at the time that I'm recording this video, it is Wednesday, November 10th, getting close to Thanksgiving. So happy early Thanksgiving to everybody. It is Wednesday, November 10th at 8:13 p.m. By the time you guys watch this, it'll probably be, I would estimate, around 9-ish in the morning, probably. I don't even know anymore. But yeah, the reason why I'm doing this now, at the time that I'm recording this, is because there's actually a lot of other things that I have to take care of outside of YouTube. So it's pretty crazy. But for today's video, I actually have something very intriguing. This is not your typical WWE news video that I would normally post on literally every Thursday. But for this one, it's going to be interesting because we finally have our first NXT pay-per-view that's not called TakeOver, which is actually kind of funny. So there was actually reports that we would not get a TakeOver. Apparently there were rumors that if we were to get a TakeOver, it would probably be like it would probably be an NXT special on USA Network. Again, shout outs, no copyrights, you guys know how this works. And hang on, guys. Sorry guys, I have to take one of these mints. My nose is flaring up right now, so I do apologize. But there were reports saying that the next TakeOver we get would become a special for NXT on USA, and now we know it is not going to be the case because on November 1st, which was just a little less than a couple weeks ago, Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics, big shout out, no copyrights, of course. He sent out a tweet recently over the last couple of weeks saying quote, tentative date for the first NXT 2.0 takeover is Sunday, December 5th, according to multiple sources. Have asked, but couldn't confirm if TakeOver will continue to be the brand name. Now we know that it is not. And it's interesting because the last time we had NXT TakeOver, it was NXT TakeOver 36, which was a hell of a pay-per-view, hell of a show. Arguably one of the best shows ever, which was insane. Because we got the chance to see Ridge Holland defeat Trey Baxter, who has been released from his contract. Ridge Holland now a part of Friday Night SmackDown. We saw Cameron Grimes defeat LA Knight with the Cave-In to win the $1 Million title. We saw Raquel Gonzalez defeat Dakota Kai with the Shingona Bomb to retain the NXT Women's Title. We saw Ilya Dragunov do the impossible, and that was defeat Walter with a sleeper hold of all things to end the reign of Walter, which was 870 days. And we also got to see Adam Cole's very last match in NXT before jump shipping over to AEW, where we saw Kyle O'Reilly make Cole tap out to a heel hook while handcuffed. While handcuffed, which was hilarious. There were reports saying that Adam Cole actually wanted to stay in NXT, but unfortunately, because of some issues involving Twitch, that did not come to pass. But we also got to see Samoa Joe defeat Karrion Kross, or I guess now Killer Kross, with the Muscle Buster to be the only 3-time NXT champion in history, which is insane. That was the last takeover ever. Now it's just going to be a pay-per-view known as NXT War Games. So I'm assuming that that all of the other pay-per-views are going to be the exact same way, and we now know that on that next month, on December 5th, it will be known as NXT War Games. So now the question remains: what are we going to what can we expect from this pay-per-view? There are so many things that can happen during the time. Hang on, guys. Anyway, guys. So sorry, guys. I just found an article involving Xavier Woods and up down down. Anyway, I'm sure you guys have probably seen it on social media. But anyway, that being said, what are some of the big things that we could see at NXT War Games? One thing that we can for sure see is the fact that Toxic Attraction is now currently in a rivalry with Io Shirai, and as well as Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter, while at the same time Dakota Kai is in a rivalry with Cora Jade and Raquel Gonzalez over the fact that Dakota Kai cost Gonzalez the NXT Women's Title after Kai's loss to Gonzalez at TakeOver 36, which is kind of interesting. I will say this. I don't know how this match will be able to happen because of the fact that one team would feature Catanzaro, Shirai, Carter, Gonzalez, and Jade, whereas opposed to the other team, it would feature all three members of Toxic Attraction plus Dakota Kai. They would need to have a fifth team member in order for this match to take place. Another thing as well is Diamond Mine. Diamond Mine, as far as the males go, it consists of Julius and Brutus Creed. It also consists of Hachiman and the NXT Cruiserweight Champion Roderick Strong, who has actually been a part of every single War Games match in NXT history, including last year's when he was a part of the Undisputed Era. It is possible that with them feuding with Jacket Time, which are Kushida and Ike Manjiro, and with Odyssey Jones, if they were to find a fourth member, Hachiman can actually get involved in the match, and War Games can actually go on. Or what they could also do is just leave Hachiman there. Is just leave Hachiman off to the side, and it would just be those six superstars, which is very possible. But one thing I'm sure we can agree on is the fact that if something like that were to come to pass, this match would definitely favor Roderick Strong because he's been in every single War Games match possible in NXT history, with him only having, I believe, two victories, I believe having 2 victories overall, which is actually not too bad for someone who's been in NXT for that long. Hey, I mean, it's pretty insane. It's pretty insane, but I will say this. As far as like War Games go, those are like the only 2 possible War Games matches that we could see. But I wanted to also talk about what we could also see in as far as the North American title, the NXT Tag Team titles, and the NXT title going into NXT War Games, starting with obviously the North American title. You guys know Carmelo Hayes actually cashed in his opportunity, his breakout tournament opportunity on the North American champion, and at that time was Isaiah Swerve Scott, which we all know Hit Row ended up getting drafted to SmackDown during the WWE draft. So by that logic, Hayes ended up cashing in on Swerve, and he became North American champion, which gave Johnny Gargano the chance to come back to NXT since the announcement that he and Candice LeRae made that she was pregnant with a baby boy, which congrats is in order, of course, to them. But with Dexter Lumis now in the family, which is actually kind of crazy, with him married to Indy Hartwell, that is pretty freaky. That's pretty freaky, I will say. I know for a fact that we could very well see Carmelo Hayes, Johnny Gargano for the North American title, but there are also 2 other key factors in this scenario. The first is obviously Santos Escobar, who's still hell bent on becoming North American champion since he lost the cruiserweight title to Kushida earlier this year, and so with him in the mix, that just leaves one other person. But who could he be? The answer is Pete Dunne. If you guys remember last night on NXT at the time that I am recording this, which again was obviously November 10th, he defeated Carmelo Hayes with the bitter end to pick up the victory, which puts him in line for a shot at the North American title. The best way to resolve this, make it a fatal 4-way. Make it a fatal 4-way match between Johnny Gargano, Pete Dunne, Santos Escobar, and Carmelo Hayes, the champion for the North American title. That's like the most obvious thing that we could see. Now, as far as the tag team titles go, I know that Legato is still wanting those titles. I know that the Grizzly Young Veterans are still wanting those titles. MSK are pretty much due a rematch for the title, so definitely put them in a fatal 4-way against Imperium. Good to go. Now, as far as the NXT title goes, I know that this past weekend, in a tour in the UK, Tommaso Ciampa actually defended his title against Braun Breaker, SmackDown's Sami Zayn in a triple threat match, which Tommaso Ciampa won, of course, obviously, but I don't know, Ciampa. I really don't think there is anyone else who wants the NXT title. I know that Gargano hinted the rivalry to be renewed, which is possible, but I don't know. But one thing that can definitely be said is that the NXT champion, he's got a lot of enemies. Obviously, one is Braun Breaker, and the other, Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe is still gunning for that title upon his return, which I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know, but I can tell you one thing. This War Games pay-per-view is going to be a very intriguing event because, as I said, given the fact that this is technically not a takeover, I think one thing that can be said is the fact that if you guys thought that last year's War Games event was insane, if you guys thought that 2019's War event was insane, this will probably top that. This War Games event will top those two tenfold, easily. As long as it's booked the right way, I'm pretty sure this pay-per-view will top any other pay-per-view that any wrestling promotion has had all year. As crazy as it is for me to say it. So that brings me to the question of the day. What is your dream War Games match? Let me know in the comments below. And that is going to do it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button if you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more Yu-Gi-Oh news, more WWE news videos, which gets posted every Thursday. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you guys do not miss out on any new content that comes your way. And be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. All the links will be in the description below. And if you guys have any fan mail you want to send me and want me to open up on the channel, my address will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.